Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So delighted today to be joined by our club builder extraordinaire, Brian Birch.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Excellent. So Brian's going to join us today for a little driver fit. We've been playing some Winter League golf this year, and Brian has been whooping us on the regular. He absolutely has. He's been working really, really hard in his game, but there definitely are some avenues and opportunities in your bag, Brian, where we feel like we've got a little opportunity to get you into some even better stuff, which doesn't bode too well for the rest of us. You've been working hard and improving your irons a lot. You put some 14 irons in the bag this, well, probably late part of last year?
Late summer last year, like August last year.
And they've been awesome.
Phenomenal, yeah. Love them. I've probably gained club and a half of length.
You've got a Nike Covert driver which dates back to, you know, probably
2014-ish.
Yeah, around that time.
Retro.
Very retro.
Seriously retro.
Yep, the Cherry Bomb. And you have been dabbling with some newer product. You played a Cobra driver for a little bit last year.
Yeah.
But safe to say you've not really settled on a driver that you can literally call the replacement for everything else.
Right, yeah. A little bit lower spin with that head that I was fighting, but I think it's there's more to it than that, for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely more to extract. Well, let's just dive in
there
and take a look at Brian's numbers.
Some shots with that driver. I haven't seen anyone hit a Nike driver in years.
A while. It's safe to say that is the miss through the bag, Brian, a little bit of a right to left shape.
Yeah, that's definitely the miss these days, for sure.
Pretty solid hit, Brian. Is just overcooking with a little bit too much draw. You know, we can see where, you know, go over to the data. Dynamic loft is a little bit low because we have the face closing.
There's a lot going on here that isn't really that far. I mean, the launch and spin aren't bad.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that just the face is quite shut, obviously.
Yeah.
Producing the right to left shot. I mean, at least the variables are not crazy. I mean, he's producing a very consistent path and angle of attack.
The opportunities are going to be obviously strike point. That's going to improve efficiency. And in turn, we're going to try to maintain face control. So, I mean, we're going to improve on
by
these numbers.
20, 30 yards,
yeah.
for sure. Question I would have is, I think everyone's probably asking the same question. Where do we start? Because he's got a very old driver from a brand that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
For clubs. So, Brian, is there a short list that you want to try? Like, is that where you would start with him and just ask him what he likes this year, and then we can go from there?
Yeah, I mean, I always ask people if they've done a little window shopping. You know, it is March, we're at the start of the season, and you know you're in the industry, so you build clubs. You've seen what's going out the door.
Yeah, like I've tried stuff since the new stuff has launched this year. I like the look and feel of the Cobra Aerojet, the Titleist. I even like the Strixon. Actually, looks pretty good to me as well.
That'd be a nice little short list.
Definitely.
Well, why don't we get into it?
We'll dive into some. Yeah, this will be a fun one, Brian.
There we go.
That's straight. It looks like the ball is definitely carrying further. There's more pop on it.
Yeah,
for sure.
We haven't mitigated the shape yet. So I mean, we've added some ball speed, lowered the spin, and there's 20 yards in the air so far. Obviously, the shape is still not quite what we want, but that's. I mean, what do you think's going on there? Better shaft timing probably for Brian there.
Much better.
His strike is great.
Yep.
And maybe a little bit better efficiency from an 8 years newer head.
Good launch and spin, but variable, right? So it's one thing to look at a good average, but then if you look at the standard deviation, well, you know, are we getting 2200 from one that's at 1800 and one that's at 2800?
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, good swing. I like that tempo, Bry. I know you turned that over a little bit, but that was good.
That's interesting. Saw the ball start more right of the center line at least to begin with, not starting left, going left.
Nice, excellent.
Well done there.
Good job.
4 miles an hour more ball speed. Launch and spin aren't, super ideal, but you've mitigated some of the right to left, so it's more on target, and it's still carrying that 18 yards further. So that, I think that was a good
moving in the right direction.
That's very different. Ooh. Haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
230 in the air. Hello. That's great too.
That really is.
Even if you've probably felt, Brian, like your body language was, I might have missed that. That is not far off.
It was a little off balance, but nearly 260. I don't mind that.
I mean, that's it's
really got something good to work with here, Bry.
It's much better on the miss too.
Somebody who's very sensitive and very, very skilled with their hands is another lever that we can pull on as club fitters when we're doing these things. So just set the club down in address, Bry. What do you notice with a grip?
You've got it twisted forward.
Yeah, so the golf pride is up at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The rib is down at 7. I want you focused on impact returning that to 12 and 6.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I want you just to kind of put that into your feel, into your touch, into your hands. And I want you just to lean on that a little bit for the feels, okay? Good job.
Look at that ball.
So you caught it slightly toey.
Yeah.
So geared it back a little bit.
That's fantastic though. It's really interesting.
Kind of like a high-centered one there for Bry.
Really interesting.
Felt a little bit high on the face, yeah.
Love it.
This is great.
Really, really good stuff.
Really neutralized.
Actually, it really changes what we need to do with the club.
Ooh, is that ever good?
Good.
I mean, talk about a ball flight transformation. It's just so different and so good.
I love that.
230 in the air, 250 total.
That just looked really strong.
Look at the strike.
Buttoned.
That is so good. Identical to the first one, maybe even slightly better actually. It is slightly better. Wow. You can tell right away that was going to be good.
It's just money, isn't it?
Just see the ball take off the face and knew it was going to be at your best of the day.
Wow.
This is going to be up there with the most gains we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Not to mention the dispersion and straightness, never mind the distance.
Just love it. Absolutely love it.
Great, Brian.
Wow. I mean, it didn't sound like you got all of it. Was a hair thin?
Just a little thin on the face, but what a result. Like, it's flown just as well.
If I was going to just try and squeeze one more thing out of it, I would just say just nudging the height up a little bit wouldn't be, in terms of just the launch. Just 73 feet, Matt, is just, it's a little on the flat side now. It's very safe.
Yeah, because of the spins there.
Yeah, it's lots of spin. We're getting great compression. I mean, every one has gotten higher. It just shows the level of confidence Brian's kind of got with it right now. 11 launch, 2400, 142. I mean, I'm being kind of picky. Standard deviation's really quite good. Just want to look at one more 10.5 before making,
sure.
Just the final.
Back into the LST.
Yeah.
Made a great swing there.
Yeah, that's a good swing. Good job, Bry. Really good.
Great swing, Brian. I would say that is about as good as it gets. like that.
Yes.
It's such a nice looking flight.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I think you made a good call. This higher loft but lower spin head. He's getting everything that was good about the max head in lower loft, but he's getting better peak height, better launch.
You know, what we had hoped, we had, you know, kept the spin good, nudged the launch up, kept everything we liked about the flight bri, but we just moved it up a hair.
Right.
So, I mean, I would, I'd
so
go
good.
with that.
You go with the 10.5 neutral.
I would, yeah.
I agree with you. It's unbelievable how much more neutral that flight is than it started out as.
Yeah, no, that's a fun one. That's a really fun one. You know, there's a few different things. I would say going longer is definitely something that was maybe a little bit of a different.
That was different.
You know, move to make, and you know the grip tactic.
Yeah,
you know, grip at 7 and 11. I would say the grip is what turned the session around.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know,
the management of the face turned the session around. It also allowed you to go less extreme with the sort of like open bias. We went much more neutral.
Yeah.
The longer shaft was great, I think, for some speed and to keep the start line on the right side. I mean, it was the turning point. Yeah.
It really was. It really was. Guys, great stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, just some of the reasons we just think that even if your driver's performing fairly well, we're pretty confident that through a process like this that's in depth and we're really, you know, pulling on multiple levers, we can get just about anyone that walks in the door here, you know, lots of you know, extra performance, whether it's yardage, whether it's accuracy, whether it's both.
Everything in this case, wasn't it?
We think we can kind of, you know, get a lot more out of it. So excited to see Brian's, you know, progression through the year, and you know, excited for you guys to experience the exact same thing.
That was a hell of a fit.
Excellent. Okay, stay tuned for more, guys. We'll see you again soon.